main places for me that I want to see. And I was like, so I was really excited, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And another cool part of this is like I never really, I thought about being a tour guide, and I decided it wasn't for me because I don't agree with the tourism industry and how they're, sometimes they're not so good on the environment and these kind of things. It, but I realized through, through becoming friends with this guy, he has such an amazing vision, and he's also a tour guide, and he kind of shares that same vision of like doesn't want to, or now I share his vision now because he already had that vision. And for me, I was just shying away from it. Like, no, I don't like tourism. I'm going to stay away from it. But he was deep in the tourism, and he has been for many years. And he is actually actively making changes in the tourism industry and making the changes he wants to see. Actively working to support the communities that they're visiting, and also advocating for, environmentally friendly, sustainable ways of doing tourism, things like this. And then after talking to him, I'm like, oh, okay, so I shouldn't be just shying away from tourism because I don't like the way they do things. I should be joining the tourism because, one, that'd be an amazing job, fun, and way to travel the world for basically free. And, sorry, I just lost my thought. I'm a little bit exhausted. So I was like, yeah, like that's what I should be doing. I should be joining and making the changes that I want to see in the world. That's what I need to do. That's what a powerful person does. They don't just stay away from the opportunity because they don't agree with how it is. That's how a lot of people do things. Be the change you want to see. So that just like opened my eyes to like, whoa, okay, I never saw this for myself. I never thought of myself as a tour guide, but this makes so much sense. Like, I'm going to be responsible for people's lives, for one. This is where my leadership training is going to come perfectly in handy, and it'll be good public speaking practice. Like, it's all kind of falling into place nicely, and I see myself really changing the world. So then I'll tell you another cool thing, right, is that I've told you my vision, and I don't know if you've heard it in the last episodes, but my vision for my life is I am a generous leader traveling and changing the world with my vibration of love. I changed the word from message of love to vibration of love because it just resonated for me more. And then I realized, like, wow, okay, so I set this vision for myself also through the course. I set this vision thinking that it was around public speaking. That was kind of what was in my head. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a public speaker. I'm going to have my podcast. That's my message of love. That's what I'm going to be traveling the world with. It still is what I want, but I didn't specify that in my vision because the important thing is not to worry about how you're going to get somewhere. It's more about what do you want? Why do you want it? How is not really important. A lot of messages going on in this. This is a really condensed episode. Could have made multiple episodes on this, but I'm kind of pushing it all into one. So the vision just came alive through this job offer as well. I was clear on the vision, not clear on how it would come about, and then I'm offered this job, which fulfills my vision and my perfect day. So hell yeah, I applied for it, and so that's a really exciting thing that just happened for me over the last week or two. So it's not confirmed whether I have the job or not, and I know that a lot of people would like not be going and telling the entire world about this job when they don't even have it yet, but it's not about whether I get the job or not. I mean, for me, I've already got the job. I've already got the job, like, you know me, of course. So, but it's not about if I get the job, like when I'm hired, when I'm in Greece, it's all happening. And whatever. I'm also detached from whether it happens or not because the lesson here has been so beautiful, and like just the fact that I manifested this opportunity itself was magic enough. And so, if it's not meant to be, that's all good. I'm going with the flow of life as per usual. But so that was just like another thing that I completely manifested out of the blue, this Greece job, okay? And I will definitely keep you updated as I figure that out. So now I'm going to tell you the final manifestation thing that just happened for me, which is like the most exciting for me right now. Actually, okay, I'd say the Greece thing maybe as someone listening, maybe that would be more exciting. But for me, this final thing is just as exciting. Honestly, it's just as cool. But it just happened yesterday, so I'm more excited about it right now. So basically, I was doing this rubber band trading thing. I don't know if you guys have heard the paperclip. The guy who traded a paperclip for a house, like he had a paperclip, and he traded it for something else, and then traded it, and then traded it for, up and up and up for who knows how long, and then eventually got a house. So most people have heard about this. Even the people in the Philippines have heard about this guy. He's very famous. So I did the same thing, but with a rubber band. And the idea also came from my course. So have them to thank for this as well. And I traded up to so let me just tell you. I started with a rubber band, and I told my team, I declared it. I said, I'm going to trade this up to a motorbike. And I wasn't sure if I was 100% serious, like if I really wanted to go through with it, or I was definitely planning to continue to trade. Like, we only needed to trade like 5 times, but I wanted to keep trading. And I was like, I am going to get a motorbike one day, but who knows, I didn't know how long it would take, but I was dedicated to doing that. So I just traded something for a motorbike yesterday, you guys. Yet I still, oh my gosh, it's funny that I'm talking about this with all these motorbikes going by. Okay, but it wasn't the way that totally sounds, but still really exciting. So I traded the rubber band for 5 pesos, traded 5 pesos for gum, traded the gum for 5 pieces of gum, traded the 5 pieces of gum for some coconut oil, traded the coconut oil for a pair of glasses, which I traded for a anklet that the guy I'm staying with made with shells from the beach, and it's beautiful. And I actually still have it on, so I haven't traded that yet. I think I might keep trading up eventually, but I still have this on, okay? So I didn't trade this for a motorbike. No. What happened was, after my course, I actually was picked up a day late from my friend who was supposed to pick me up. The day he was supposed to pick me up, he ended up not being able to, and so I was like, stayed up off no sleep, and ended up having to like stay in the city one more night and get another hotel. And I remember like kind of breaking down, like, oh my gosh, like, just like sleep deprived, and had such a frustrating day and everything, right? And I'm like, why is this happening to me? Being all dramatic, right? And then, but went to bed. It was all good. Just needed to sleep. Slept for 12 hours. And then, the next day I left. He ended up picking me up the next day. So we're on our way back, and he's made a couple stops. And we stopped at his friend's place, which ended up being, so there's a woman at his friend's place. She is renovating her house. Anyways, we go there, and she starts talking to me about, and I had met her once before, but she ends up asking me about my mural jobs and what I've been doing out here and traveling, trading. And so I told her I'm trading my murals for, I'm painting murals for people, in return letting me stay with them all over Southeast Asia, kind of thing. And she says, okay, well, let me show you all the walls that I want painted. I'm like, okay. Well, I had really, when she was telling me this, I was like, I had no intention of coming and working for her, because she did say, like, I will pay you, but I don't feel like it's not always worth it so much in the Philippines, because how much money are you really going to make? And also, it would have taken me multiple days to paint this for her. And there was nowhere for me to stay, because the whole place was under construction. But we got to talking. She actually wants like 6 walls painted. Okay, they're small. They're really small walls, but like 6 of them. So 6 different designs I'd have to make. But so I wasn't really planning on doing it, but then I just had a little bit of a light bulb moment, and I said, okay, instead of paying me, if I were to do this, would you give me your motorbike for 2 weeks? Like, let me take your motorbike for a spin around the island, because I wanted to do a solo. My plan was to do a either way, like to do a solo motorbike trip through Palawan, the island that I'm on, because it's a big island, lots to see, and I haven't really seen any of it yet. And so I was gonna rent a scooter for like or a motorbike for 2 weeks, and that would have been freaking expensive. And but I was prepared to do it, because I just extended my visa the day before. But then I met her, and then she said, you know, what kind of bike do you need? And I said, semi-automatic, ideally. And she said, oh, well, let me show you my semi-automatic bike. Like, yeah, and she's like, I'm actually leaving on the 29th to go traveling for 2 weeks. And I was like, no way, that's exactly when I want to go. And she's like, well, it's all yours. And I said, pleasure doing business with you. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. So I just manifested a motorbike. Was clear that I wanted to go on this motorbike trip. I was clear that I wanted to trade for a motorbike, and I just did all of these things. Like, this is what happens when you're clear, you guys. Like, when you're clear about what you want, when I'm clear about what I want, I get it. Ask and you shall receive. There's, like I said, there's so many nuggets in here in these stories. It's not just about manifesting. It's like, ask and you shall receive, and put yourself out there. Speak what you want. Like, I spoke my vision of trading for a motorbike, no matter how crazy it sounded. I spoke about wanting to go on this, or, you know, planning to go on this 2-week motorbike trip. This is why I speak what I want all the time. I speak about this job opportunity because I'm not worried about anyone's negative juju getting into it, because I just don't feel like that could possibly bring my vision down. Like, if it's not meant to be, it's not, but I don't think anyone else has control over that except for me. My vibes are just way too high for anything to, like, bring it down in a way. So this has just been so magical. And, you know, the guys that were with me at this time of this business transaction, they were right there, and they were just shocked because I had told them. They were the ones who were trading me for my original things. Like, because I've been staying with them. So I traded the one guy for the 5 pesos, and then I ended up trading the other guy for the anklet. They were both there, and they were like, Carmen, you just traded for the motorbike. Like, no way, 2 weeks on a motorbike. Like, because they were literally right there with me when I decided that I wanted to stay and do this motorbike trip. So, like, they were so jazzed for me, and still are. So, wow. Okay, so life's just really, really kicking ass for me right now, like, in a good way. Always in a good way. I mean, it's kicking my ass, and also, yeah, kicking ass in a good way. I'm quite exhausted, but I'm taking action on my life, you guys, and it's really paying off. So I'm really, really excited, as much as I may not sound it in this moment, like, with my voice. I just had to get this story out there. It's just really exciting. So yeah, so for me to give you any homework from, if you want to do anything, put any of this into practice, I'd say visualize your perfect day. Come up with a solid vision for your life. I think I've talked about how to do this. I haven't done like a specific episode on vision, but I have talked about vision quite a lot over the last few episodes. So if you listen to those, I can also do if you want me to do like a specific episode on vision, I'd be happy to do that too. Just send me some feedback. Let me know. But yeah, so visualize your perfect day. Come up with a vision for your life. Become clear on what you want, and, you know, it will be presented to you, like, pretty quickly. You don't even understand how quickly sometimes. For me, within days sometimes, and it's just, wow, it's magic. It's freaking magic, you guys. So that's what my recommendation would be. And just talk about what you want with people. Ask for what you want. Ask. I have an episode on that too. If you don't ASK, you don't GET. I asked a random strange question. Can I have your motorbike for 2 weeks? To a woman I barely know. Like, you know, that's just what you gotta do. You gotta put yourself out there, and you will be rewarded. So, okay, I love you. I'm gonna get going. I need to sleep. Love you all, and let me know how you enjoyed this episode. I would love to hear your feedback. Oh, also, oh my gosh, I was on my old mentor, Andrea Earhart. She has a podcast called the Artist Academy Podcast. I was on her podcast. So you guys, this is another thing that I guess I just, wow. Okay, I manifested this too. And yeah, so I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I came across her podcast. I started listening to it religiously, and she's the reason that I decided to get into being a full-time artist, and then it shifted from there. So, like, you know, I'm not a student of hers anymore because I'm not really, like, so interested in doing the full-time art thing. anymore, like other than traveling and whatever. But but like if you're an artist, like highly recommend her podcast, and it's really good for art business